Today we're going to holidazzle you with a porch pot that anybody can make, and it's made of all natural materials we find out in our landscape. You can put it on your front porch to welcome visitors this Christmas. So let's get started. First of all, I like to start with a good old pair of garden gloves, and as you can see, these are well used, but it's important to remember the reason we do that. We're working with evergreen branches, and they're just like me, sappy, okay? So good idea to wear some gloves, and we need a good pruning device, like a good sharp bypass pruning shears. Next thing to do is pick out a container, but of course we have containers left over from this spring and summer where we planted our flowering annuals. So we're going to take that same container and the soil, and we need thawed soil to work with because we're going to be sticking the branches in. Once we do that, then we take the same approach that we take with our flowering containers in spring, and that is thriller, filler, spiller. So we're going to start from the center, thriller, and work our way to filler, and then finally the outside, spiller. Then we're going to add accents to really make this porch container holidazzling. So let's get started. We're going to want to put those in first, working from the center out. And I always like to work in odd numbers at varying heights. It looks more natural that way, and we pack them in there really nicely. So next we're going to start working on filler. As you see with the finished container, we used some spruce, and spruce is great as a filler. And I think the reason for that is not only is it very pretty, but spruce has nice stiff branches, and those stiff branches are nice to work with, plus has a tendency to drape over. And look at how blue spruce just instantly holidazzles the container. And this is thawed soil. And then once we set this container outside on the porch, what's going to happen obviously is the soil's going to freeze. And that's going to put these birch branches and evergreen branches solidly into the soil. As a matter of fact, most of these porch containers look beautiful and last all the way into March. And I love this. Oh, the smell. This container pines for my approval, and there's nothing better in my mind than white pine. White pine has that old-fashioned Christmas kind of look. It's our Michigan state tree, soft needled. And boy, does that really add to the container when we put in branches of white pine. Another evergreen that I love, and we find it readily in our Michigan landscapes, juniper. Juniper. Look at how pretty this is. And the great thing about juniper is that many junipers at this point in the year are loaded with berries. We'll take the branches, and if you cut them at an angle like this, then it's easier to push them into the soil. So we've got a variety: juniper, white pine, spruce. I would say we have really spruced up this container. If you want to have some fun, remember LED lights are available, battery operated, so you don't need an outlet out on the front porch. These LED lights last forever, don't use much energy. Now you can also get them in these pre-lit sticks, and I put some batteries in here. Look at that. We just light that up, and again, working those sticks into the container. At night, it's going to be pretty. Then of course, remember, there's a lot of things you can add. These came off the holly bushes in the landscape, so possibly adding some holly to your container is an option. And you can also purchase berries and pine cones, like pine cones on a stick, which are so easy to work into your arrangement. So I'm hoping these porch pot containers light up your holidays. And I tell you what, this is a great welcome piece to anyone who shows up at your home for Christmas. And I hope that you try one of these porch pots. Again, thinking thriller, filler, spiller, get creative, and I hope you have a holidazzling Christmas.